Our week 2 topics comes from the most essential learning competencies. Number 1, evaluate functions. Number 2, perform operations on functions. Number 3, solve problems involving functions. Let us have first the topic number 1, which is how to evaluate functions. Pinag-aralan natin sa algebraic expression na ang letters can stand for numbers. So, pwede nating ipalit ang number sa letter. And to find the value of the expression, there are two things that you have to do. Ano yung una? Replace each letter. So, papalitan natin each letter in the expression with the assigned value. So, whatever the value that we have, we are going to replace each letter by that value. Number 2, we are going to perform the operations in the expression using the correct order of operations. Kung matatandaan natin, nung tayo ay junior high school at ng elementary, we are using the PEMDAS rule when we encounter different series of operation. What do we mean by PEMDAS? P stands for parenthesis, E stands for exponent, M stands for multiplication, D stands for division, and A stands for addition, and lastly, the S stands for subtraction. So when we encounter a series of operation, we are going to follow the correct order of operations. Halimbawa, kung ang x ay equal sa 3, find letter A, x minus 9, and B, 3x plus 7. So, solving for this, for letter A, we have x minus 9. So, substituting the value of x, which is equal to 3, this will become 3 minus 9. And 3 minus 9 is equivalent to negative 6. So, the first answer is negative 6. For letter B, the given expression is 3x plus 7. So, since our x is equal to 3, we are going to replace or papalitan natin yung x natin ng 3. So, this will become 3 times 3 plus 7. So, 3 times 3 is 9 plus 7. Our answer for number or letter B is equal to 16. Okay? So, how do we evaluate functions? Evaluating functions means process, or it is the process of determining the value of the function at the number assigned to a given variable. So, kapag kinuha mo yung value ng function na kung saan ay inassign mo yung iyong given variable by a number and you get the value of that function, you are actually evaluating that functions. Ang pag-i-evaluate ng function ay parehas lamang ng pag-i-evaluate ng algebraic expression. So, evaluating a function means replacing the variable in the functions, usually x, with a value from the function's domain or the value of x, and computing for the result. So, to denote that we are evaluating f or function f at constant a in the domain of f, we write f of a. Okay, let us have an example number 1. Given f of x is equal to 2x minus 4. So, the name of the function is f of x and it's equal to 2x minus 4. Find the value of the function if x is equal to 3. So, solving for this one, all we have to do is to replace all the variable by the value that is given in our problem. So, in this case, our value is equal to 3. So f of x will become f of 3. That's equivalent to 2x, which is 2 times 3 minus 4. So solving for this, we're going to use the PEMDAS, or multiply first before we subtract. So 2 times 3, that is 6 minus 4. F of 3 is equal to 2. So that's the answer for example number 1. For example number 2, P of x is equal to 3x squared plus 5x minus 2. And we are asked to find P of 0 and P of negative 1. So solving for P of 0, let us first have the P of 0. P of 0 is equal to, let us substitute 0 to the x in our functions. So 3 times 0 squared plus 5 times 0 minus 2. So since this is already 0 squared, and 0 times 0 is 0 times 3, that is 0. So we can cancel already this 1. And also this 1, 5 times 0 is 0. So we can also cancel this 1. In other words, P of 0 is equal to negative 2. How about the P of negative 1? So substituting again or replacing again the variables in our functions by negative 1. So that's 3 times negative 1 squared plus 5 times negative 1 minus 2. So solving for this, 3 times negative 1 squared is 1, because negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1 times 3, plus 5 times negative 1 is negative 5 minus 2. So computing, 3 times 1 is 3, positive times negative is negative 5 minus 2. So simplifying this 1, 3 minus 5 is negative 2. Minus 2, the answer is negative 4. So the answer for P of negative 1 is negative 4. Let's continue our example number 3. Given f of x is equal to 5x plus 1. So we are going to find f of h plus 1. So the value that we are going to replace to the variable x is h plus 1. So let us solve for that. So f of h plus 1 is equal to 5. We are going to replace x by h plus 1. So h plus 1 plus 1. So we are going to apply here the distributive property. We're going to multiply 5 to all the values inside the parentheses. So we're going to multiply 5 by h and 5 by 1. So 5 times h, that's 5h. 5 times 1 is positive 5. And then add the other number, plus 1. So our answer, 5h, 5 plus 1 is 6. So our final answer is 5h plus 6. Example number 4. We are going to evaluate f of x is equal to 2 raised to x if the value of our x is equal to 3 over 2. As you can see in our example, the exponent is a variable. And this kind of function is what we call exponential function. Because when we talk about exponential function, we can see the variable in the exponent. So evaluating this will become f. We're going to replace x by 3 halves. So that's 3 over 2 equals 2 raised to 3 halves. Okay. So we cannot evaluate this one unless ilalagay natin siya sa radical rule. The denominator 2 tells us that this is a square root. So this can also be written as square root of 2 raised to 3. That's another way of writing 2 raised to 3 over 2. that is equivalent to the square root of 2 raised to 3. Yung square root na yon, nanggaling yun sa denominator na 2. At yung 3 naman ay yung ating numerator. So, solving for this is equivalent to the square root of 2 cubed is 2 times 2 times 2, which is equivalent to 8. Simplifying this one, because we don't have the square root of 8, but the factor of 8 has a square root. So we can factor 8 to the square root of 4 times the square root of 2. As you can see, square root of 4 is equal to 2. Ang square root ng 4 ay 2. So, pwede natin kunan ng square root yung 4, which is 2, and then idagdag natin yung ating susunod. So, that's equivalent to 2 square root of 2. Okay. So, that's the answer for example number 4. For example number 5, evaluate the functions h of x is equal to x plus 2, where x is the greatest integer function given x is equal to 2.4. So when we talk about greatest integer function, we are going to get the highest or the rounded up value of 2.4. So solving for this, again, we are evaluating, so we are going to replace the value of x by 2.4. So h of 2.4, because that's the value of x, equals x, which is 2.4, plus 2. Our x here, which is 2.4, is the greatest integer function. So the greatest integer function of 2.4 is equivalent to 2. So 2 plus 2, our answer for example number 5 is equal to 4. Okay? So next, let's try. So I have here f of x, which is equal to 4 over x. You are going to determine f of 1. So solving for this, let us have the solution. F of 1 is equal to 4 over, we replace x by 1, so that's 4 divided by 1. The answer is 4. Let's continue. F of the square root of 2. So that's equivalent to 4 over the square root of 2. But square root of 2 in denominator class is not allowed. So you have to eliminate the square root in your denominator. How are you going to do it? You're going to multiply this one by square root of 2 over the square root of 2. So kung ano yung denominator mo, yun ang i-multiply mo sa numerator at saka sa denominator. Ang purpose nito ay para ma-eliminate natin yung radical root or the root in the denominator. So this will become 4 square root of 2 all over square root of 2 times square root of 2 is square root of 4. Alam naman natin na may square root ang 4. So this will become 4 square root of 2 all over 2, which is the square root of 4. So we can divide 4 divided by 2. So our final answer here is 2 square root of 2. So that's the answer for f of square root of 2. How about the f of 1 over x? So if we are going to solve for that, f of 1 over x, that's equivalent to 4 over 1 over x. This is actually a fraction. The denominator is a fraction. So going to the idea of how are we going to divide fraction. So paano ba mag-divide ng fraction? So this becomes 4, and then yung division magiging multiplication, and then yung denominator na fraction babalik na rin. So x over 1. Multiplying 4 times x, that's equivalent to 4x over 1. And 4x divided by 1 is 4x. So the answer for our f of 1 over x, or letter C, is 4x. Let us proceed now to our topic number 2, operations on functions. When we talk about operation on functions, we are talking about addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division of function. We are going also to add the composition of function. Let us have example. Suppose I have three functions. First one is f of x, which is equal to x plus 5. My g of x, which is equal to 2x minus 1. And h of x is equal to 2x squared plus 9x minus 5. So we are going to determine, number 1, f plus g of x. Number 2, f minus g of x. Number 3, f times g of x. 4, h divided by g of x. Number 5, f plus g of 3. Number 6, f minus g of 3. Number 7, f times g of 3. Number 8, h divided by g of 3. So let us have first the first question. The first question is, we're going to determine the f plus g of x. This one can also be written as f of x plus g of x. So meaning, all we have to do is to add the function of x plus the function of g. So substituting the values or the expression of the function f, that is x plus 5, and the expressions under the function g of x, that's 2x minus 1. Just like addition of polynomial class, all you have to do is to combine all like terms. So lahat ng may x pagsamasamahin, lahat ng walang x pagsamasamahin. So x plus 2x, that is equivalent to 3x. And then, yung positive 5 natin at saka negative 1 natin, pagsamahin natin, 5 minus 1, that is equivalent to positive 4. So, we have already the answer. F plus g of x is equal to 3x plus 4. Let us have the second question. The second question is f minus g of x. This can also be written as f of x minus g of x. So, ibig sabihin, ima-minus lang natin yung value ng function of x doon sa value ng function of g. So, substituting the values, f of x is equal to x plus 5 minus, lalagyan natin ng parenthesis, g of x is 2x minus 1. Bakit natin nilagyan ng parenthesis? Kasi magbabago ang sign ng ating given dito sa right side. This is what you call the subtrahend. So, magbabago yung sign ng subtrahend. That is the rule of subtraction. So, this will become x plus 5, and then multiply all the values inside the parenthesis by the negative sign outside. So, negative times 2x, that's negative 2x. Negative times negative 1, that's positive 1. And then again, pagsamasamahin uli natin ng pare-parehas, x minus 2x, that's negative x. And 5 plus 1, the answer is positive 6. So, our answer for number 2, f minus g of x, that's equal to negative x plus 6. Or pwede rin natin yung isulat kung ayaw natin mayroong makitang negative sa unahan. Pwede natin yung baliktarin, 6 minus x. Okay. So, this is the answer for our number 2. For number 3, multiplication. So, we are going to multiply the function of f to the function of g. So it is the same as writing f of x times g of x. So getting the values of f of x, ano ba ang values ng f of x? X plus 5. Multiply natin yan sa value ng g of x, which is 2x minus 1. So 2x minus 1. So i-multiply na natin using the FOIL method. So paano ba mag-multiply using the FOIL method? By the way, FOIL method is used in multiplying binomial to binomial. So we are going to multiply the first. Multiply natin yan. X times 2x, that is equivalent to 2x squared. And then outside, yun, magkabilang dulo. X times negative 1, that's negative 1x. Inside. So 5 times 2x, that is positive 10x. And then the last, which is 5 times negative 1, the answer is negative 5. So simplifying this one, 2x squared, pagsamahin natin to, parehas may x, negative 1x plus 10x, that's positive 9x minus 5. So this is now the final answer of the product of f of x times the g of. So let us proceed to example number 4. We are going to divide the function of h to the function of g. So we can rewrite this one h of g of x can also be written, this can also be written as h of x divided by g of x. So getting the value of h of x, ano ba yung value ng h of x natin? 2x squared plus 9x minus 5. Getting the value of g of x, that's equivalent to 2x minus 1. So we are going to divide 2x squared plus 9x minus 5 divided by 2x minus 1. You can have the long division. I know that long division and synthetic division was already discussed to you when you are in junior high school. You can do this to divide this one, or you can do the other way, or the shortcut way. The shortcut way is to factor the numerator. After you factor the numerator, you are going to look if there is common factor in the numerator and in the denominator, so that you can cancel it. So kung ano yung matitira, yun na yung sagot. So let us do the shortcut way. So let us factor 2x squared plus 9x minus 5. As you can see, this is trinomial. Pagka siya ay trinomial, but as you can see, this is not a perfect square trinomial. So, ang gagawin natin para ma-factor natin ito ay trial and error. So, we are going to have a trial and error factoring. So, 2x squared, unahin natin itong unahan na 2x squared. Ano ba ang factor ng 2x squared? So, ang factor niyan, 2x at saka x. 2x times x, 2x squared. And then, yung dulo, yung negative 5. Ano ba ang factor ng negative 5? So, yung 5 itself, this is a prime number. So, pag sinabi nating prime number, ang factors lang niyan ay 1 at saka sarili niya. So, ibig sabihin, ang ilalagay lang natin na partner nitong dalawa, 1 at saka 5. So, pero, saan natin ilalagay si 5? Saan natin ilalagay si 1? Kung mapapansin nyo sa ilalim, may negative 1 na partner yung 2x. So, para ang idea natin dito, makancel yung nasa ilalim at yung nasa ibabaw or the numerator. So, gagayahin natin yung nasa ilalim. Magiging 1 ang partner ng 2x. 1 ang partner ng 2x dito. So, that's 1. Dito sa kabila, 5. Kasi 1 times 5 is 5. Yun yung nasa dulo. But as you can see, 5 here is negative. So, dapat ang sign ng 1 at saka 5 magkaiba. Para pag minultiply mo, negative. Negative pa rin siya. So, let us see kung negative itong 1, tapos positive itong 5. So, negative 1 times 5, pasok tayo sa negative 5. Ngayon ang tanong, yung factor ba na ito na ating isinulat ay talaga bang factor na itong ating numerator na ito? How can we know? So let us check. I-multiply lang natin ito. So that's negative 1x. At i-multiply natin itong outside. So that's positive 10x. Tapos i-add natin. So pag in-add natin yan, ang magiging sagot natin, positive 9x. So itong positive 9x na to, ito yung nasa gitna. Ito yun, yung 9x natin. Ibig sabihin, kung tumama tayo sa gitna, sa unahan at sa dulo, tama ang ating factor. So kung isusulat ko uli yan, magiging 2x minus 1, imumultiply natin sa x plus 5. Yan ang factor ng 2x squared plus 9x minus 5. So sa ilalim, meron tayong g of x na ang value ay 2x minus 1. So kung mapapansin ninyo, parehas na yung ating numerator na 2x minus 1 doon sa denominator natin na 2x minus 1. So dahil parehas na sila, pwede na natin silang i-cancel. I-cancel natin yan. So ano ang magiging sagot natin? Kung ano yung natira. Ang natira, x plus 5. So this is the answer for example number 4. Punta tayo sa example number 5, f plus g of 3. So, paano natin isi-solve itong number 5 na ito? Katulad din ito ng ating f plus g of x. Yun nga lang, this time, our x is not x, but it is equal to 3. So, kung isusulat natin ito, pwede natin itong isulat ng f of 3 plus g of 3. Ibig sabihin, kunin mo muna yung f of 3, kunin mo muna yung g of 3, tapos i-add mo. That's the value, or that is the answer in number 5. So, f of 3. Ano ba yung f of 3 natin? That is equivalent to our x. F of x kasi is x plus 5. So, when we replace x by 3, this is equivalent to 3 plus 5. So, f of 3 natin is 8. How about the g of 3? So, our g of 3 is, our g of x kasi is 2x minus 1. So, when we replace x by 3, so that's 2 times 3 minus 1. And 2 times 3 is 6 minus 1. The answer is 5. So, going back to this f plus g of 3, ilagay lang natin yung value ng f of 3 which is 8 plus the value of g of 3 which is 5. Ibig sabihin, ang ating sagot ay 13. So, for f plus g of 3, the answer is 13. Let's continue now to example number 6. F minus g of 3 naman. So, this one, we are also going to get the value of this. It is the same as we write this one. We write this as equal to f of 3 minus the g of 3. So, the same procedure, kunin mo muna yung f of 3. Kanina nakuha na natin yung f of 3. That's actually 3 plus 5. So, that's equal to 8. G of 3, nakuha natin kanina. Ano value niya? That's equal to 5. So, ibig sabihin, f minus g of 3 is the same as 8 minus 5, which is equal to 3. Okay? So, next. For example, number 7, we're going to multiply f times g of x. So, if we are going to rewrite this one, this is equal to f of 3 times the g of 3. So, what is our f of 3 again? We solved that already. That's 8. What is g of 3? That's equivalent to 5. So, 8 times 5, that is 40. Okay? So, f times g of 3 is 40. Okay? Another way of solving this one is to multiply f of x times g of x. So, if we multiply f of x times the g of x using the FOIL method, so x plus 5 multiply natin yan sa 2x minus 1. So this will become 2x squared and then minus 1x, and then this one is 10x and then negative 5. So 2x squared, this is 9x, positive 9x minus 5. Ilagay natin yung value natin, 3, bago natin makuha yung kanyang sagot. This is another way of solving our given. Okay? So, 2, lagay natin 3 squared plus 9 times 3 minus 5. So, 3 squared is 9 times 2, that's 18. So, 9 times 3 is 27 minus 5. So, 18 plus 27, that's 45 minus 5. And 45 minus 5, babalik ka parehas dito sa nauna natin, which is equivalent or equal to 40. That's another way of solving number 7. Number 8, we are going to divide. So, this one is also, or can be written as h of 3 divided by g of 3. So, paano naman natin to isusolve? So, katulad ng ginawa natin kanina, pwede natin isulat muna yung ating given na 2x squared plus 9x minus 5. All over, ang g of x natin ay 2x minus 1. Kung maaalala ninyo, pinactor natin tong numerator na to. So, nung dinivide natin iyan, pinactor natin, na-cancel yung 2x minus 1 sa baba at 2x minus 1 sa taas. So, ang naging sagot natin dito, if you are going to remember, that's x plus 5. So, x plus 5. Tsaka natin ilalagay yung 3. So, ano magiging sagot natin? 3 plus 5, the answer is 8. Okay? Another way. Paano ba yung another way? Other way para ma-solve ito. Okay? So, ang gagawin natin ay kunin natin yung value ng h of 3. Ano ba yung h of 3? So, 2 cube or 2 times 3 squared plus, i-replace natin yung value ng x natin dun sa h of x by 3. So, 2 times 3 squared plus 9 times 3 minus 5. Sige nga, solve natin. This is 3 squared, 9 times 2, 18 plus 9 times 3, that's 27 minus 5. We solved this already. This is 45 minus 5. So, sagot sa h of 3, 40. Ayan. G of 3. Ano yung g of 3 natin? So, g of 3 is 2 times 3 minus 1. So, this is 6 minus 1. So, ang g of 3 natin, 5. So, balikan natin yung h of 3 divided by h of 3 divided by g of 3. So, that's 40 divided by 5. So, ang sagot natin, 8. Balik pa rin tayo sa 8. Diba? So, that's another way of dividing h of 3 divided by g of 3. Parehas din ang magiging sagot natin. So, this one is 8. Itong nasa baba ay 8 din. Okay? So, let us now continue with the discussion. Let us now proceed to the composition of function. When we talk about composition of function, it is the same as function of a function. So, yung function, nilagay sa isang function. Kumbaga, nagpatong-patong na. So, we are going to determine the value of a function to another function. That's the idea of composition of function. So, in our example, f of x is equal to x squared plus 5x plus 6. Our second function, h of x is equal to x plus 2. So, letter A, we are going to determine the f of h of x. Letter B, that is f of h of 4. And letter C, that is h of f of x. So, if you are going to look at our given, yung ating letter A at saka letter C parang binaliktad lang. Parehas kaya ang sagot ng f of h of x sa h of f of x. Itong ating given na ito, this one, yung given natin na to, pwede rin natin yung isulat ng f of h of x. Yan, pwede rin natin yung isulat. So, ito, pwede natin yan isulat ng f of h of 4. Yan. This one, we can also write this one as h of f of x. Yan. Another way of writing the question. So, let us have the first one. The first one is we are going to determine the f of h of x. So, if we are going to write this one, again, pwede natin itong isulat ng f of h of x. Okay. So, ibig sabihin, yung ating h of x na value, ano ba yung value natin ng h of x? X plus 2. Yun mismo ang ipapalit natin sa value ng ating f of x na yon. So, paano yon? So, when we substitute the value, hindi na siya f of x, magiging f of x plus 2 na siya. Ano yung x plus 2? Yun yung ating function of h. So, we are going to, instead of writing the x, we are going to write x plus 2 because that is the value of the x plus 2. And what is that x plus 2? That is the h of x. So, replacing x squared or x by x plus 2, that becomes x plus 2 squared plus 5 times x plus 2 plus 6. This one is square of binomial. I hope everybody knows how to simplify a square of binomial. So, paano yon? Square mo, pag may square dito, ang gagawin mo lang dito, square mo yung una. So, x squared. Tapos, i-multiply mo yung exponent mo doon sa second term mo at sa first term. So, 2 times 2 times x. That's positive 4x. And then, plus. I-square mo yung last mo, 4. So, itong part na to, sagot lamang yan dito sa x plus 2 squared. Okay? O, dito naman tayo sa sumunod. May 5 sa labas. So, i-multiply mo yung 5 sa loob, lahat. So, 5 times x, 5x. 5 times 2 is 10. So, meron ka pang plus 6. So, ito na yung ating susunod na mga given. So, pag samasamahin lang natin yung pare-parehas, lahat ng may squared, pag samasamahin, x squared. Ano pa? Wala na. So, 4x, lahat naman na may x, 4x at saka 5x, that will become 9x. And then, lahat ng walang variable or x. So, 4 plus 10, that is 14, plus 6, that is 20. So, the answer for f of h of x is equivalent to x squared plus 9x plus 20. So, punta tayo sa susunod na halimbawa. Hanapin naman natin ang f of h of 4. So, paano naman natin isusolve itong susunod nating halimbawa? Okay? So, this is equivalent to f of h of 4. So, ibig sabihin, yung h of x natin ay papalitan natin, gagawin natin h of 4. Remember, our h of x is equivalent to x plus 2. Okay? So, if it is h of 4, papalitan natin yung x natin ng 4, so that becomes 4 plus 2. So, h of 4 is equal to 6. That's the value of h of 4, 6. Now, sabi dito, f of h of 4. So, ibig sabihin, yung ating h of 4, siya yung 6. So, pwede nating isulat yung f of h of 4 ng f of 6. Kasi yung h of 4 ay 6. So, we are going to substitute now 6, replace our variables in our function of x to 6. So this becomes, if we are going to write our function f, this is x squared plus 5x plus 6. So our x, papalitan natin, gagawin natin 6. This becomes 6 squared plus 5 times 6 plus 6. So 6 squared is 6 times 6, so that's 36. Plus 5 times 6, that's 30. That's 30 plus 6. That's actually 36 plus 36. So 36 plus 36, that is 72. Okay, so that's the answer for letter B. Puntahan naman natin yung ating letter C. Okay? So our letter C, this is equal to h of f of x. We can also write this one as h of f of x. Pwede rin natin isulat yan ng ganyan. So here we are going to substitute f of x by its value. So f of x will become x squared plus 5x plus 6. So isa-substitute natin yan. Yung value ng f of x natin ay x squared plus 5x plus 6. Okay? So, magiging h of x squared plus 5x plus 6. Saan ang galing yung x squared plus 5x plus 6? Iyon yung f of x. And then, we are going to substitute the x squared plus 5x plus 6 to the function h of x. So, that's equal to x plus 2. This is our function. So, substitute na natin yung value ng x natin. So that will become h of x squared plus 5x plus 6. So equals x squared plus 5x plus 6. So this one is the value of x only. This one, value pa lang to ng x. May plus 2 pa tayo doon. So simplifying this, x squared plus 5x 6 plus 2 is 8, so that's plus 8. So this is the value now of h of f of x. Okay, let us try now. So I have here three functions, the function of f, h, and g. So we are going to find number 1, f of x plus h of x. Number 2, h of x times g of x. So let's start with number 1. So let's start with number 1. So for number 1, this is equal to what? This is equal to x plus 3, which is the value of f of x, plus x plus 7 over 2 minus x. The first one is the value of f of x, and the second one is the value of h of x. Now, how are we going to add? So this one, we are going to have an LCD, which is the least common denominator. As you can see, this is a rational function. So the denominator that we have 2 minus x, ito na yung magsisilbing LCD niya. Since itong isa, wala naman siyang denominator, yung x plus 3. So magiging LCD natin dito ay 2 minus x. So ano magiging numerator natin? So 2 minus x divided by 1. Ano yung 1 na yun? That's the denominator of x plus 3. So 2x minus x divided by 1, the answer is 2 minus x pa rin. So, multiply natin yun sa numerator na x plus 3. So, bali ang nasa taas natin ay x plus 3 times 2 minus x. Okay? And then plus 2 minus x divided by 2 minus x is 1. 1 times x plus 7 is x plus 7. Okay? So, continuing this one, we are going to use here the FOIL method. And we are going to use here the FOIL method. So this one will become x times 2 is 2x. Negative, or x times negative x is negative x squared. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times negative x is negative 3x. Dagdag na lang natin yung plus x plus 7 all over 2 minus x. Okay? So, let's continue in this part. Pagsamasamahin natin yung pare-pareho. So, that's negative, yung may pinakamataas na exponent, negative x squared. Lahat ng may x, 2x, negative 3x, at saka x. So, what will be our answer? So, 2x minus 3x, that's negative x. Negative x plus x, 0 na yon. So, wala na yung ating x na yon. Cancel na yon. And then, lahat ng walang x, 6 plus 7. So, that's 13. So, ang sagot natin ay negative x squared plus 13. All over 2 minus x. So, para maiwasan natin yung negative sa ating x, pwede natin ilabas yung ating negative dito. Magiging negative x squared minus 13. Ilabas natin yung negative. All over, labas natin yung negative dito, baliktarin natin. So, pag nilabas natin yung negative dito, yung x mo positive na. So, x, tapos yung 2 mo negative na. So, negative 2. Ayan. Then, simplifying, negative divided by negative. Ano final answer natin? X squared minus 13 all over x minus 2. So, ito po ang ating final answer. Ulitin ko lang. Our final answer, x squared minus 13 all over x minus 2. Okay. So, yan po yung final answer natin. Okay? So, ayan. So, yan po yung ating final answer. So, sa pangalawa, ang sagot po natin ay negative x squared or negative times quantity x squared plus 11x plus 28. You can try na lang the second one and find out paano nakuha yung ating sagot. Okay? Let us proceed now to our third topic, which is solving real-life problems involving functions. So, in solving real-life problems involving function, there are different steps that you have to remember for you to be able to solve the problem. So, number one, explore. Explore natin yung ating mga problem, and then after exploring it, we are going to plan. Paano ba natin siya isosolve? Number 3, of course, solve it. And number 4, check your answer if your solution is correct. So, I have here now the first example. So, yung for example natin is a proposed light transit system. Line 1 or the LRT1 pair would charge 18 pesos for per stations and 5 pesos for each additional station over the proposed pair. So, ang ating mga tanong, letter A, find the pair function f of x, where x represent the number of stations traveled. Letter B, find the proposed pair for 15 stations. And letter C, find the proposed pair for 20 stations. So, explore. This is the first step that you have to do in your solving problem. So, explore natin. Ano yung x? Ang x natin ay number of station travel. So, ilan station ba ang natatravel? So, second is x minus 4. Ang x minus 4, ito yung number of station traveled over and above 4 stations. So, kapag ang station na natatravel mo ay more than 4 na, you are going to use x minus 4. Okay? So, let's continue. Plan. So, paano yung plan? Function travel up to 4 stations. So, sabi dito sa ating problem, 18 pesos daw yung ibabayad. So, f of x is equal to 18. Kailan yon? Kapag ang station ay between 0 to 4 station. So, from 0 to 4 station, 18 pesos yung ating fare. Function after 4th station. O pagkatapos ng 4th station, syempre, pang-5 na yon na station. So, ang function natin, f of x is equal to 18 plus 5 times x minus 4. So, 5 pesos Yung 5 na nandito, iyan yung additional na ibabayad. Additional 5 pesos na ibabayad kapag ikaw ay lampas na sa 4 station. Kaya 5 times x minus 4. Kung matatandaan natin, kapag lampas na sa 4 station, x minus 4 na. So, 5 times x minus 4. Ibig sabihin, 5 piso na dagdag sa station na above 4. Okay? So, solving for this, meron tayong f of x is equal to 18 plus, multiply natin yung 5 doon sa x minus 4 sa loob, that will become 5 times x, which is 5x, and 5 times negative 4, which is negative 20. So, simplifying, pag samasamahin ng pare-parehas, f of x will be 5x, and then 18 minus 20 is negative 2. Okay, let us solve. How much daw is the fare for 15 stations? So, for 15 stations, meron tayong sinolve kanina na function. Ang ating function kapag lampas na ng 4 station ay f of x is equal to 5x minus 2. So, kapag siya ay 15 station, ibig sabihin ng x natin 15. So, substituting that in our function, that will become f of 15 is equal to 5 times 15 minus 72. 5 times 15 is 75, minus 2, ang sagot ay 73. Ibig sabihin, the proposed fare for 15 station travel is 73 pesos. Next, letter C. How about if that is already 20 station? So, that's f of 20. Substituting that again to 5x minus 2. That's 5 times 20, which is 100. Minus 2, the answer is 98 pesos. In other words, the proposed fare for 20 station travel is 98 pesos. Let us have an example number 2. Lucena Network charges 450 pesos monthly cable connection fee plus 130 pesos for each hour of pay-per-view or the PPV event regardless of a full hour or a fraction of an hour. So, anong hahanapin natin? Letter A, find the payment function f of x where x represents the number of PPV hours. Letter B, what is the monthly bill of a customer who watched 25 hours of PPV events? And letter C, what is the monthly bill of customer who watched 0.5 hour of PPV events? Solution. So, as you can see, the fixed monthly cable connection based on the problem is 450 pesos. So, let x, ano tong x na to? The number of PPV hours in a month. Or ilang oras ba yung pay-per-view kada buwan. So, aside from the 450 fixed na binabayad sa monthly connection, magkano yung magiging bayad per month niya? So, x is the number of the hours of pay-per-view in a month. And 130 pesos. Ano itong 130 pesos na to? This is the amount of pay-per-view payment in a specific hour. So, yung hour or specific hour na yan, that is x. So, 130 times x will be the total amount of the pay-per-view payment in a specific hour. So, kahit kung ilan bang oras iyan. So, the payment function in the problem is f of x is equal to 450, that's the fixed monthly cable connection, plus 130 times yung bilang ng oras natin ng pay-per-view. So, yun ang magiging ating payment function. Continue tayo sa letter B. The monthly bill of a customer who watched 25 hours pay-per-view events can be represented by f of x is equal to 450 plus 130 times x. Kung maaalala ninyo, ito yung payment function. So, kung merong 25 hours na PPV events, we are going to replace our x by 25. So, that becomes 450 plus 130 times 25. And 130 times 25 is 3,250 plus 450, which is the fixed monthly bill. So, ang babayaran na ng customer natin ay 3,750 pesos. Okay? So, let's continue. Letter C. The monthly bill of a customer who watched 0.5 hour of pay-per-view events can be represented as the number of hour x between 0 to 1. And since the problem, sabi sa problem, regardless daw kung full hour or a fraction of hour lang siya, additional charges pa rin will be made on hourly basis only. So dito, kahit siya ay hindi naka-isang oras, kahit 0.5 hour lang siya, additional charge pa rin ng isang oras yung ipapataw sa kanya. So ang X natin dito, hindi 0.5, kung hindi 1. So kung ilalagay natin to sa ating payment function na 450 plus 130 times X, yung X natin magiging 1. So 130 times 1 is 130 plus yung ating fixed monthly payment na 450. So ang babayaran ni customer ay 580 pesos. So let us try now. Subukan naman natin. Mark started selling snacks in nearby school. In one day, he spends 200 pesos for rent and 25 pesos for each snack item he prepares. So what is the question? Letter A, write a function that will represent his expenses in a single day. Letter B, how much are his expenses if he prepares 100 snack items? Letter C, how much are his expenses if he prepares 150 snacks item? So, going back to the first question, yung unang tanong natin, write a function daw. So, pwede tayong magsulat ng kahit anong pangalan ng function. Say, dito sa ating example, pwede nating isulat C of X. Ayan. C of X, ito yung magre-represent ang expenses niya sa isang araw. Ibig sabihin, ano yung X natin dito? Yung X natin dito ay yung bilang ng snack. This is the number of snack item. Okay? So, pagkano expenses niya sa isang araw? So, C of X, ito yung expenses niya sa isang araw. 200. Una niyang expenses. Saan to itong 200 na ito? Ito yung renta na kanyang ini-spend every day doon sa kanyang pinagtitindahan. Plus, sabi dyan, 25 pesos for each snack item he prepares. So, kung 25 yon kada isa, at ang number of snack item mo ay X. So, ang magiging function mo that will represent the expenses of Mark is C of X is equal to 200 plus 25X. Number 2 na tayo. Paano kung nag-prepare siya ng 100 snack item? So, let us solve this one. So, that's C of 100. So, that's 200 plus 25 times 100. So, that's equal to 200 plus 2,500. So, ilan ang kanyang magiging expenses? So, that's equal to 2,700. Okay. So, this is the expenses of Mark for 100 snack item. How about kung ang snack item niya ay 150? So, kung isusulat natin yan, that will become C of X is equal to 200 plus 25 times 150. So that's equal to 200 plus 25 times 150 is 3,000. That's 3,750. So, ibig sabihin, ang expenses niya pag 150 snack item is 3,950 pesos. Okay, so that is the total expenses of Mark. So congratulations, that's the end of our topic. You're done with the additional 3 topics in general mathematics. Now, prepare for your formative assessment that will be sent to you. Good luck.